Hey, what is up, mortals? It is SBurkVA here, and welcome to part number 4 of What If Deku Was a Power Ranger. Just wanted to greet you guys by just saying, well, sit back and relax. You're in for a treat. And so, we begin. It had been several days since Midoriya had completed the entrance exam. He had been waiting nervously for his test results to arrive. Finally, he received an envelope addressed from UA. His mother, Inko, had frantically handed it to her son. Midoriya sat looking at the envelope for several minutes. When the greenette finally tore the envelope open, a small disc fell out. Before the sharp-eyed boy had time to register the round object, a holographic image appeared from the disc. Hello! It's everyone's favorite talking animal man! Is he a mouse? Is he a bear? Well, it doesn't matter, because he's the principal of UA High School. Midoriya was surprised that the principal had sent him a holographic message, but it was from UA, and the teenager with attitude had heard that they did things differently. I'm proud to tell you, Izuku Midoriya, that you received a remarkable score of 92 on the written exam. But of course you are probably more concerned with the practical. Well, you also received an amazing 90 villain points on the practical. Midoriya figured that he did well on the written exam. An account of 90 villain points seemed right. As these thoughts were going through the pine-eyed boy's mind, he realized the principal was still speaking. While a score of 90 villain points is high, you were being graded on more than just your ability to turn our robots into scrap metal. You were also being marked on how you acted during the exam. With that in mind, you were also rewarded with rescue points if you came to the aid of those in need. You, Izuku Midoriya, received an amazing 70 rescue points. Altogether, you have received a total of 160 on the practical exam. That gives you the highest score. Isn't that fabulous? A scoreboard flashed up on the hologram behind Nezu. It showed that Midoriya was indeed in first place, and that Bakugo had come in second. The third place was occupied by Kyokujiro. Melissa and Mina had come in fourth and sixth places, respectively. Coming in fifth was Eijiro Kirishima. Midoriya was impressed that the two rangers he had met had done so well. Bakugo had told the dragon-powered youth about the two rangers he had met during the test. From what his bombastic friend told him, the two were strong fighters and had very interesting personalities. After hearing that, Midoriya could not wait to meet them. As that thought flowed through his mind, a voice interrupted his train of thought. Midoriya, did you receive your test results? Midoriya had experienced this sensation before. The emerald-eyed teen knew that this was Ninjor's telepathy. Midoriya used the mind blink to think his response back to his master. Yes, master. I just got done looking at the message. Good. Would you mind getting dressed? I would like you to meet me for some important information. Okay, master, but could you just tell me the information now? This is the kind of information that needs to be shared in person. Okay, sir. Where do you want to meet? Just get dressed and go out behind the building you live in. I will give you further instructions then. Midoriya got dressed quickly and exited his apartment building out the back exit. The exhausted teen then thought back. Okay, master, I'm here. Now what? Morph up, and our location will appear on your helmet visor. The green teen took out his morpher and shouted at the top of his lungs, It's morphin' time! Dragon Zord! Okay, master, I morphed. What did you mean by our location? Just as those words left the Green Ranger's mouth, his helmet display read, Teleportation function activated. Suddenly a voice spoke into his ear. Hey there, Midoriya. Are you ready for teleportation? Midoriya was suddenly consumed by confusion. Melissa! How are you in my helmet? Master Ninjor will explain everything shortly, and he told me to tell you that you have teleported before. Midoriya remembered the first time he met Ninjor. The blue man had used an ability to transport them over miles, and he had called it teleporting. So that answered one question. Are you ready, Midoriya? Okay. I'm ready. Just be gentle. Suddenly, Midoriya was cloaked in green energy, and with a thundering boom, he started flying through the air at breakneck speeds. In no time at all, he had arrived on a rooftop garden. Was Ninjor, Melissa, Ashido, Bakugo, and two other kids his age. Midoriya assumed these individuals must be Kirishima and Jiro. Enjoy the trip, young Midoriya? That was awesome! Melissa couldn't help but smile at the wide-eyed boy's enthusiasm. I had the same thought the first time I teleported by myself. When was that, Melissa? I was 9. It was when I was helping Master Ninjor repair the morphers. I thought I was augmenting the morphing unit, but I was accessing the teleportation unit. I ended up beaming myself across town. Really? You must have been scared. Not really. I was more surprised than anything. Ninjor got me back to the lab, and I managed to repair the morphers. Midoriya had been really impressed by Melissa's combat skills during the exam. Now the Emerald Boy found out that Melissa could also repair morphing technology. Was there anything this girl couldn't do? Ninjor cleared his throat. I'm glad to see that you six are getting along. I was a little concerned that you might get off on the wrong foot. Scales might be getting along with Blondie, but I'm certainly not getting along with these two. The furious teen glared menacingly at Jiro and Kirishima. Jiro paid no attention to Bakugo's tantrum. The purple-haired team calmly asked Ninjor a question. Master, is there a reason you have gathered all these people here? Oh, he's here to tell us that he's been training each of us to use our grid powers to become Power Rangers. He also kept us separated from one another because our powers work best in tandem. Is that right, Master? As sharp as ever, Midoriya. How did you come to that answer? Well, when I met and worked alongside Melissa during the exam, I felt a surge in my power levels. Also, working beside her just felt natural. Melissa also said that you were her master. What I can't figure out is how you managed to train each of us separately. Ninjor nodded his head in approval. Very well sorted, Midoriya. I did keep you six separated so that you would each have time to grow more accustomed to your grid powers. If you had all met up when you were young, your bodies would have exploded from the influx of power. Your power sets are those of Power Rangers. Rangers work as part of a team, thus your powers would have fed off each other, making you even more powerful than you already were. Midoriya got a worried look on his face. So, what's changed? You all have. You six have gotten much stronger over the past 2 years. I believe it is safe to bring you three together. In fact, at your current levels, if I had kept you separated, your progress would have started to suffer. Okay. But that still doesn't answer how you trained us separately. For that answer, actions speak louder than words. Ninjor made a hand sign, and 3 identical versions of the blue-plated man appeared beside him. Just as the grid gave you all powers, it gave me unique skills as well. This is a simple replication power that I learned long ago. It allowed me to train you six in 4 groups. 4 groups? Melissa and Jiro were trained by themselves. Midoriya was trained with Bakugo. Ashido trained alongside Kirishima. Since these 4 all had their powers manifest together in pairs, I felt that the grid wanted them together, so I kept them that way. So what now, Master? Well, that is why I called you all here. You have each been accepted into UA. I'm very proud of each of you. The 6 teens blushed mildly at the praise of their master. I also wanted to tell you that your training under me is complete. After today, I will no longer be your master. The excitement that the group felt just a moment ago turned into pure dread. The 6 had grown fond of Ninjor. The man certainly had his shortcomings, but he had been a great teacher to the group. Ninjor, shouldn't we get to decide who our master is? You are the best master to teach us how to be Power Rangers. That is not the case. I was the best to train you in controlling the grid power. You have all learned to do that, and then some. As your master, I have to think about what is best for you. The simple truth is that there is someone who is far better qualified than me to take you down the next part of your journey as Power Rangers. Grr. Who's this guy you're pawning us off on? I am not pawning you off. As for the master I have lined up, you will meet him on your first day at UA. The 6 teens had troubled looks on their faces. Of course, they did not ask for more information on their new master. They knew Ninjor wouldn't give them any. Anyway, you 6 have about a week before the UA term starts. In that time, I want you to get to know each other better. While doing that, I want you each to take it easy. No major training. Midoriya exchanged questioning looks with the other 5. They all thought this was a strange order. Ninjor had always been a training-first kind of instructor. Getting an order to relax from the armored hero was, well, weird, to say the least. But the man had never led them wrong yet, so the 6 color-coded teens, well, they agreed. Before you leave, take these. Ninjor handed each of his students a plastic card. Sir, are these hero licenses? You're just giving us these? These are special hero licenses. You will still need to get licenses like every other hero in this world. These temporary licenses will allow you to use your powers in the case of an emergency, such as a putty attack. The 16s were awestruck by the fact their master had just given them the ability to use their powers in an emergency. But Bakugo was suspicious. The dots started to connect in the spiky blonde youth's mind. You are expecting more putty attacks. Yes, Bakugo. I also expect that the mastermind will soon make himself or herself known. With you 6 having gained the ability to take on your ranger forms, the attacks will only intensify. You will probably also start seeing commander attacks as well. What are commanders? These beings are created in the same way as the putties, but they are far smarter and far stronger. Each one of the commanders will take a monstrous form. Each has their own unique powers, and they have control of a group of 20 or more putties. In that case, Master, I need to activate the communication unit in the morphers. The aqua-eyed girl asked the other 5 to line up in front of her. She then asked each team to take out their morpher. Melissa's finger glowed with blue energy. The intelligent girl then touched her glowing fingers to each of the morphers. The morphers each glowed their respective color and then went back to normal. This video was sponsored by Honey. Honey is a free browser add-on available on Google, Opera, Firefox, and Safari. If it's a browser, it has Honey. Honey automatically saves you money when you check out on sites like Amazon, Papa John's, and Kohl's. Wherever you shop, it's a good chance that Honey can save you money. All you have to do when you're checking out at these big sites is click that little orange button, and it will scan the entire internet and find discount codes for you. It takes 2 clicks to install Honey. Now, anytime you check out, Honey will scan the whole internet and find coupon codes for you. If there is a coupon code, they will find it. And if there's not, you can rest assured that you are getting the best price possible. If you install Honey right now, you can save so much money in your online shopping doing nothing. There's no reason not to install Honey. It takes 2 clicks. 10 million people use it, and it has over 100,000 5-star reviews. Unless you hate money, you should install Honey. Use the link in the description to start saving money now. How'd you do that, Blue Girl? Melissa was able to do that because she was the one who helped me repair the morphers and the other tech I brought with me to this dimension. Ashita, who had been unusually quiet during the proceedings, was amazed by this new information. Cool! So that's how you activated the teleport ability in my morpher. That's right, Ashido. Ah! You're so manly, Melissa! That is why I'm giving the responsibility of caring for the Ranger Tech to Melissa. Really, Master? You're giving me everything. Not everything, just the items that are meant to work alongside your morphers. It will be up to you, Melissa, to decide when and where each item is used. That's such a big responsibility. Are you sure I'm ready for that? You are more ready than you think. Even if you aren't, you have to be. The villains of this world and beyond are not going to wait until you are at your best. The forces you are going to be facing will wear you down and take you out. But you must stand firm. You must become Power Rangers. Each youth silently reaffirmed the oath they had made long ago. Each swore, once again, to use their powers to become the greatest hero they could be. They also swore to become great Power Rangers. The kids all decided to hang out, per Ninjor's instructions, during the week before the start of their first semester at UA. After much discussion and argument, most of the latter was from Bakugo, the 6 decided to hang out at the beach near Midoriya and Bakugo's place. This would allow them to get to know each other better and learn more about each other's powers. Midoriya told the group that he could conjure an energy orb and fire it like a rocket. He also told the others that he learned how to summon the Dragon Zord during the exam. After hearing about the Dragon Zord, Bakugo got extremely irritated. The idea of Midoriya gaining a new power before him made the blonde teen grind his teeth in frustration. Kyokujiro was about to respond to Midoriya when she sensed something. Do y'all feel that? Something is coming. What is it, Jiro? It feels kind of like the putties, but way bigger. Just then, a skeleton appeared. The bony creature's body was composed of yellow bones. He was wearing a top hat, cape, and wielding a sword in his right hand. Hello, children. My name is Bones, and I am here to destroy you. Looks like we got our first so-called commander. I figured it would look strange, but man, this thing is ugly. The creature got so mad at being called ugly that steam came out of its eye sockets. "Oh, I will show you, ugly, obnoxious twit!" The Bone Man then unleashed several energy blasts from his sword. The blasts flew through the air toward the power teens. The teens dodged the blasts by the skin of their teeth. "Kachan, how about not antagonizing the weird creature before we know what it can do?" "What's to know, Scales? We morph and destroy it." "Morphing would be a good idea." "Let's do it!" The 6 youths took out their morphers and transformed into Power Rangers. Bones then summoned a large group of putties in response to the Rangers' power-up. "I count about 40 putties. What should we do?" Midoriya looked at the situation and his allies, and a plan formed in his mind. "Melissa, Ashido, Jiro, and Kirishima, you 4 take care of the putties. Kachan and I will keep Bones busy. Once the putties are defeated, we'll all focus on putting Bones out of commission." "Solid plan, Scales. But Kirishima should help you keep Bones busy instead of me." "You sure, Kachan?" "I'm making several guesses with this theory, but I think the enemy is testing us. If I was the mastermind, I would want to know how strong my enemy was. Since the enemy is in front of us, we have to take care of them, or people could get hurt. Let's use this attack to better ourselves." Bakugo looked at Midoriya. "Scales, you and I are already good at fighting together. You and Melissa fought together in the exam, as did Kirishima and myself. We need to mix it up." All of the teens agreed. The 6 then went to work. Bakugo led Melissa, Jiro, and Ashido against the putties. Midoriya and Kirishima focused on the crazy skeleton. Bakugo was very impressed by how the 3 girls handled themselves in a fight. While he and Jiro did have conflicting personalities, he couldn't deny that the short girl had combat skills. It did take her several hits to finish off a putty, but she hit them so fast that she didn't fall behind the others in number of defeated foes. Several putties did try to attack Jiro from behind, but it was for nothing. The girl with the bowl cut caught these sneak attackers every time. Bakugo knew he would have to question Jiro about that later. Melissa was no slacker either. Bakugo was impressed by the raw power that the long-haired girl could generate. Melissa would send putties flying several feet through the air, and many of them ended up in the ocean, all dissolved into gray dust. Ashido was a real mad lass. The pink girl literally fought the putties by busting a move. Her fighting style looked more like she was breakdancing than fighting. Still, the putties never laid a hand on her. Many of the gray foot soldiers did try to grab the athletic girl, but all were rebuffed with a kick or a punch to the face or groin. The girl with messy hair had no mercy for those who tried to get close without her permission, and the putties certainly did not have her permission. Altogether, the red, pink, yellow, and blue-clad teens worked very well together. There were a few times that they did trip over each other, but they got their rhythm in sync very quickly. After only a few minutes, the 4 had finished off the 40 putties with only a few bumps and scrapes. A short distance up the beach, Midoriya and Kirishima fought Bones. Midoriya was able to get in sync with Kirishima very quickly. The 2 boys fought well together. As the 2 traded blows with the Bone Man, Kirishima proposed a plan. "Can you hold him off for a minute, Midoriya?" "I can. What do you have up your sleeve, Kirishima?" "I have a special move that can finish this guy, but it'll take me a minute to power up for it." "Okay, do it." Kirishima broke off his attack, and Midoriya increased his assault. Kirishima channeled his power into his arms. Both of his limbs began to glow with a blackish-purple light. After a minute, the power in his arms began to trail off his skin in sparks. "Midoriya, get clear." The dragon-crested youth jumped out of the way. "This is what you get for attacking my friends, you jerk! Mammoth press!" Kirishima launched a barrage of punches against Bones. The impact from the manly teen reduced the fleshless creature to a pile of unmoving bones. Midoriya's eyes went wide at the sight of Kirishima's attack. "That attack was awesome! I've been able to enhance my arms with grid energy since my power awakened. It isn't very flashy, but it gets the job done." "Don't underestimate yourself, Kirishima. An attack that can finish off a villain quickly is a good attack to have." "Thanks, man. You're awesome, too." "Isn't this nice? Enjoy each other's help while you can, because you will soon be dead." Bone's head levitated into the air. The villain's body reassembled itself, bone by bone. Bakugo and the girls rejoined the green and black armored teens as Bones pulled himself together. "Damn, these things do have powers." "Guys, attack him one more time." Bakugo replied. "What's the point? That bony bastard will just put himself back together again." "Trust me, I have a plan." Midoriya nodded at Bakugo. The angry blonde nodded back in agreement. "Okay, Scales. Let's give this bag of bones our holiday special." "I still think that name is completely flippant." But okay, Kachan. Midoriya and Bakugo powered up their finishers. Midoriya released his Dragon Orb, and Bakugo released his T-Rex Strike at the same time. The two attacks merged into one, the T-Rex Strike becoming infused with the lightning energy of the Dragon Orb. The fused attack charged towards Bones like a freight train. Bones didn't even try to dodge the attack. The walking fossil knew he could just pull himself together again. He figured the more energy the Rangers expended, the better. That way he could pick them off as they became exhausted. The holiday special impacted Bones square on. Once again, the skeleton fell into pieces. And once again, Bones' head levitated into the air and the villain's body began to reassemble. But this time, Melissa used her skill with teleportation to get behind the floating skull and grab it out of the air. The Blue Ranger then delivered a powerful punch to the skull, shattering it into a million pieces. The skull fragments and the rest of the bones turned into gray powder, like the Putties. The other Rangers stood awestruck by the display in power and skill that Melissa just executed. None of the teens knew what to say. Finally, after several moments, Ashido was the first to speak up. "That was amazing, Melissa! How did you know to destroy his head?" "Well, I noticed his body only put itself back together after his head floated up, so I figured that he couldn't reassemble without his head. I also figured that it would be easiest to destroy Bones' head when it was separated from his body. That's why I had you attack him again." "Nice job, Melissa. You really had that dude's number." "I figured you had something up your sleeve." "Thanks for the compliment, Bakugo. I can tell that was very hard for you to admit. And thank you, Midoriya, for believing in me." Midoriya's face turned red as a beet from the blonde girl's praise. We are a team now. If we can't trust each other, then who can we trust, right?" The other Rangers agreed. "Melissa, you have to show me how you teleported with such precision." "Oh, me too. Tell me how to do that, please." "How about she teaches all of us? We can only expect these attacks to get worse. We'd all better get as good as we can." The others nodded in agreement. Melissa said she would be thrilled to teach them how to teleport, if the other Rangers would teach her what they were good at. The teens all agreed that they would meet on the beach for the rest of the week and would each take a turn instructing the group, even though this went against Ninjor's instructions. They figured that Ninjor knew they would end up training, and Ninjor was not technically their master anymore, so the teens didn't feel bad about disobeying their former master. And so a week passed. The group's first day at UA was upon them. Midoriya arrived outside the 1A classroom and was shocked by the size of the door. The awestruck boy wondered if they had giants walking around the campus. The green teen pushed back the door and saw that Bakugo had already arrived. Midoriya also saw that he had gotten into an argument with the blue-haired boy from the exam. Melissa entered the room at the sight of Bakugo's confrontation and also saw Midoriya watching it unfold. "Looks like Bakugo is introducing our classmates to his charming personality." Midoriya turned to see Melissa's smiling face. "Oh, Melissa! Good morning." The emerald-eyed teen could not help but notice how good Melissa looked in her school uniform. A groggy voice cut through. "If you're here to make friends, then you can turn around and leave." The whole class turned toward the door and saw a man in a yellow sleeping bag. The man unzipped himself from the bag and downed a large pouch of applesauce. "My name is Shota Aizawa, and I'm your homeroom teacher." Thank you all for indulging yourselves in the story thus far. Hope you enjoyed it. Now there are a few more things that I'd like to go over before the video ends. Firstly, we've got a second channel called Anime Deep Dive. Anime Deep Dive goes deep into the facts and lore of a wide variety of anime. It's sure to expand your weeb knowledge for all kinds of series guaranteed. On top of that, we have a third channel called We the Celestials Naruto What Ifs. It's what we do on this channel already, but in the vast world and lore of Naruto. Go check it out if you're in the mood for some jutsu action. I'd like to let you all know, on behalf of We the Celestials, I'd like to thank everyone involved in the production of today's awesome content. Their details will be in the description below. If you're perhaps interested in what we do here at WTC, then I would like to extend an invitation to join the team. The only caveat being, we only accept team members 16 and older joining our crew. You can find us on our Discord, which you can locate in the description below. Our Discord is an all-around fantastic place to be, whether you're a fan or looking to join our band of misfits. All you gotta do is hit up the recruitment server and sign up for whichever category of work fulfills your interests. We're always looking for members to join us. Well, that's it from us for today's video, so thank you all for watching, and have a great day.